Birthday Hawa, birthday Hawa Shai, birthday Hawa, birthday Hawa Shai. Call Allah and Wahwa Allahayna Yahwa, Bashem Yah Shai, Bashem Kakadash. Allah wa Yah, wa Yahwa Shai. Giving all praises to our power, Yahweh, Bashem Yah Shai, Bashem Kakadash. And bless you the Most High, bless you the Most High, in the name of the only God and Son, Yahweh Shai. Bless you, of course, in the Ruach HaKodesh of the Holy Spirit. And of course, praise the Most High Yahweh, which I said Halal wa Yah, which that's how you say praise the Most High, our way of form of it. Just a short name of Yahweh is Yah, but altogether the true name of the Heavenly Father is Yahweh. Wa Yahweh Shai, of course, is his only begotten Son. All right, so Halal wa Yah. Wa Yahweh Shai. Alright, to the Most High, all praises to the Most High and His only begotten Son, whom we do worship. Of course, giving double honors to our apostles and others, great millstone, who well. Peace and salutation to the elect, for us fruits, choicest parts, that whom the Lord will have mercy upon in these times, giving them, of course, the Thawab, which is the mark of exemption from the judgment which is upon us. Ultimately delivering them out of Babylon and the places where they've been scattered to. And them having, of course, partakers with, of course, talking about the Rashim, the Heeds, having that first part, that first dominion. But of course the rest of the elect, of course, will, be in that period of time as well. But it's all about the Masharash al Yashala, the government body of the nation of Israel, the forerunners, the elect men, the 12 tribes of Israel, and of course the believers as well. My brother Mappa from the Great Millstone Plaintables camp, located here in the city of Philadelphia. It's coming with this week's lesson. So originally the lesson was to cover 2 different articles, and this one, it says here, French to face 6 months in jail for entering a bar or restaurant without actual pass for the pestilence. Now, if you've been following my lessons throughout the past, been quite a bit. I would say within the year. Speaking about how eventually, they're gonna implement these various applications that have your status on your different sharat, all right, that you have, all right. If you do have that is, okay. And, I brought out, of course, the information, about, various, funding for these different apps and such, okay. Backed by a lot of these, Clinton and Rockefeller and such. But, you could go into those different lessons, source the actual information from Great Game Media India. But these apps, these passes, which is going to act as a way for you to verify your status, because of course in the digital age in which we're in, the whole certificates, usage of certificates being just on a carnal piece of paper, that's gonna be phased out due to, of course, the rise of digitalization, and also because of the counterfeiting of these different documents. All right, and ultimately they want everybody to be a part of the Internet of Things, Internet of Bodies. Okay. Now, It says people in France who enter into a bar or restaurant without this pass for the pestilence face a 6 months in jail, while business owners who fail to check their status face a 1 year prison sentence and a 45,000 euros in fine. And yes, really. Okay, so this isn't something that you could just sweep under a rug. And we been telling you, of course, that the times in which we're in are going to become more and more strict and severe, and ultimately the highest form of draconianism, all right, being harsh, all right, laws, okay, that it will be imposed. That's mine online, to lay a duty, crime, or obligation. Going back from the old French, which is imposer, which means to put or place. Shawam in the Hebrew, a form of saying put. Impute or charge. A simulate form of N2. N being EN and IN plus poser, meaning to put in place. So they're literally gonna put in place, these different burdens, afflict one authorities by force. And this is all in lines with the scriptures, okay, because we'll go to it briefly right here, and I believe that's in Revelation. It said this is through the Spirit. I believe it's going to be a series of these lessons, because the main topic is that there will be a reimposing of lockdown measures and such. All right, but overall, just more and more of your life and mirth is going to diminish in these times. All right, for those that are, choosing to believe, in this system, you're gonna see, of course, that this system actually is a pet, and it's on its way to moving towards its end game. All right, which is to have the Sharat, right, in the form of what we know is the MOTB, all right, which is an abbreviation form of what we know in the book of Revelation, all right, 13 and 16. Okay, so let me see, I'm going to go to Revelation, I think 12, that is. I got to find it. It's been quite a bit since I brought this scripture out. I mean, I remember in the beginning of this whole thing, we used to bring out this thing all the time. Yeah, so this is one right here. Revelation 12 and 12. It says, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe unto the heavens, to the earth, and the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. Okay. Now, there's another precept that I need to, of course, find as well. So it's a bit late. It's about to be midnight here in Babylon, and I'm just trying to get to bringing out the spirit. All right, so yeah, Revelation chapter 13 and 11, it speaks about the beast, all right, being of course this fourth beast, which is the revival of the ancient Roman Empire, just on its last legs, and it's ruling via NATO and the EU, which makes up the various European vassal states, and which they would be a part of the original ancient Roman Empire, stemming from about 10. Okay. And what you go into the different 10 horns and such. All right. But and you go into, of course, the 7 heads and such. And you have, of course, one, of course, of those heads, I believe, being you go into it being Britain, in which America came out of Britain, and then in which you have this beast structure and such. You know what I mean? The revival of this Roman Empire coming back. All right, and they're using exactly the power in which the Lord bestowed onto them. All right, which He gave them all power. Okay, so this goes into the little political structure right here in Revelation 13:11. And I beheld another beast coming out of the earth. All right, now this is referring to here America. And he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. And this represents the 2 being which you go into the whole beast and stuff. I don't want to butcher this, but you have it. Now, of course, we know that the beast is NATO and the EU, but then you, of course, have America. All right, which America is a part of NATO, and you have the different other European parts which are vassals, which help support this empire, and they of course do various campaigns using NATO, and of course they use different finances and everything to support itself economically, militarily and such, to really move with this whole empire, being the second leg of the Roman Empire, reborn, reincarnated. Give me one moment real quick. Alright, so again, and I beheld another beast coming out of the earth, and had 2 horns like a lamb. The horns represent power, and you have it, the plebeians and the patricians should be your so-called the Democrats, Republicans. All right, today, all right, you're red and blue, and like it says, and had 2 horns like a lamb, and spake as a dragon. All right, and going into dragon, going back to Draco, which is going into the harsh and severe laws and such, which originally from the Greek, Draco. We got Dracon here, and that dude was an Edomite, by the way, too. And like I said, this whole Greco-Roman system, adopts all these different ancient ways. All right, it's just gonna come into this ultimate heat in these times. But it says, and he exercised all the power of the first beast 2,000 years ago. You're talking about the first beast, Roman Empire, ancient, pagan, before him, and causes the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. All right. And of course, through the different power in which this captivity, this kingdom uses. All right, which really they draft laws and such, and use all matters of witchcraft, spells, fancy writing, in order to really rule over the people. You know what I mean? It says in that, yeah, that's basically it right there. Now, what I want to do now, give me one moment. Yep, yeah, to do the same thing, or do the same thing as the ancient Roman Empire. Just wanted to go back and rechecking my notes and such concerning that precept. Also, I wanted to make sure I double checked on that. If I have it for the 11th verse too. I don't really see anything, but yeah, so let's just keep going. Now, going on to just a precept real quick is I'm gonna get let's see, we'll get Psalms 93, if I'm not mistaken. Psalms 93. Psalms 93 or I always get this mixed up. 92. And around like what, 14 or something like that? Or 11. Let me see, where we at? Or Psalms 91. It's been a while. Where's this precept? Basically, the precept speaks about which frameth mischief by deceit, something like that, of that nature. Definitely not Psalms 91. Slakia. It's about doing these lessons at nighttime. Psalms 94, that's it. 94, that's it. Pardon. Yeah, so Psalms 94 and verse. Where's this precept? Yeah, 94 and 20, Slakia. It says, shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frameth deceit by law? Okay. They gather themselves together against the soul of the righteous Israelites and condemn, the elect, and condemn the innocent blood. All right. And they do that by categorizing this. All right. or us. Now, let's just go back to the article, and it says here that yes, really. So a lot of people think like, wow, this is pretty intense. You can get a fine if you just don't even, as a business owner, don't they check, someone's status, and then you can get 6 months, just for, not, or being, pretty much being present and then being caught with it, the actual pass, all right, for the pestilence. The punishments are part of a draconian effort by French government to force citizens to get the, of course, the Sharat, all right, for this pestilence, right? Amidst multiple unruly protests across numerous major cities. It says President Emmanuel Macron, he's an Edomite, all right, announced earlier this week that those unable to prove that they got the Sharat or to be a negative test, which they got to get at their own cost, will be banned from public transport, entering cinema, shopping mall, bar, cafe, restaurant, and other venues from August the 1st. People unable to present a valid health pass risk up to 6 months in prison and a fine up to $10,000, which is and this is in euros. They got pounds sterling, I believe here, 8,500, according to the draft text of the law. While owners of the establishment welcome, meaning the public who fail to check patrons' passes, could go to jail and be hit with this fine. Okay, there will be soon prison sentences attached to the new French law for the vaccine passports. If you are caught in a restaurant without proof of the Sharat, you will face 6 months in jail. And you see it says doctor, all right, here, which means to falsify. All right, Dr. David Samidi. All right, it says here the restaurant owner faces up to a year hosting. Does that sound extreme? The sanctions, these different orders, represent the most authoritative move to force the Sharat compliance in the West, and probably outstrip a lot of actual dictatorships in other parts of the world. It says the Guardian rather euphemistically describes the big stick approach, which would be true if that big stick were electric cattle prod in the size of a One World Trade Center building in New York. The government had to withdraw to a similar law back in December, following numerous riots, but merely reimposing the same legislation with an even tougher punishment for dissenters. As we previously highlighted, the police in Paris used tear gas to disperse demonstrators and protesters against the measures, and the scenes that are unfolding in several other major cities throughout the country. It says we are now entering into a phase of this pestilence outbreak when it's becoming very clear that those who refuse to take the Sharat, right, are really bow down to these various laws and such too, will remain under one of the most onerous lockdown measures yet in perpetuality. All right, so like I said, the scriptures already warned you of Esau's ways anyway. So as the brothers did a lesson, shalom to some of the different elders, prepare for a Wag the Dog event and shutdowns. I have to look up into Wag the Dog, but I believe it's a movie or something, if I'm not mistaken. But let's just go into this other precept I had brought out in the group chat, or the chat in the live stream. Job 17:5. He that speaketh flattery to his friends, even the eyes of his children shall fail. And he did speak with flattery to his neighbors, all right, being all the people, all right, all the different nations, okay. He, of course, want to adopt that you are all human, etc., etc. Well, the eyes of his children shall fail, okay, because if lo and behold, there's a punishment for the flattery, for the smooth words, for the cunning device, tricks that this man does. All right, writing and framing these, different laws up. These unrighteous decrees, as Isaiah 10 tells you. All right, this is Job 16:9. He teareth me in his wrath, which is where's our enemy Esau we're speaking of here. All right, who hateth me? Esau does hate, of course, Jake. All right. He gnashes upon me with his teeth. Mine enemy sharpeneth his eyes upon me. All right, which would be good to go into that word for sharpeneth. I think of just someone literally like looking at you harshly and really zeroing in on you. All right, and I'm gonna check that out. Job 16:9. There's a lot of people, they thought that they can just get away with, or they're getting away with taking this Sharat. But he's going to use his laws to make it tough for you to really live a life without the Sharat. All right, and ultimately the MOTB. All right, so going into it, for the word for sharpeneth, we got latash in the Hebrew. Latash, which means to whet, all right, meaning to sharpen. So to hammer out, i.e. to sharpen. Okay, so going back, he sharpeneth his eyes upon me. All right. He teareth me with his wrath. He hateth me. He gasheth upon me with his teeth. Mine enemy sharpeneth his eyes upon me. Okay. And look, man, he's looking at you with intent to what? Harag. Right. Which we know that word means in the Hebrew. All right. Or really, yeah, it really should be the other word, which is ratazach, I believe. Okay, when you go back to Exodus, I tell you, the ratazach goes into thou shalt not kill, but meaning murder. All right, and that's what, of course, the thief, the killer, the destroyer here, the sons of perdition want. All right. So, just something, of course, to take notice of. There was also a reintroduction to mass mandates in California. Let me see Isaiah 10. So, this whole thing is being carried on beyond what you thought. You thought it was peace and safety. Well, you're seeing these laws rising to the surface. And Isaiah 10:1, woe, meaning destruction, unto them that decree, unrighteous decrees. Decree goes into chakwach. All right, decree, which should be mean to order something. All right, make, pretty much inscribed, govern. All right, to trace or mark out, inscribe of law, and he's already done that. All right, he's enacted these various laws. All right, that right the grievousness which they have prescribed, which they kathab, they wrote it and such. So, and that's pretty much the lesson. Esau is also known as the Syrians modern day as well, and of course they're holding the Lord's indignation, as you read here in Isaiah 10:5. O Syrian, the rod of mine anger, and the staff in their hand is mine indignation. And the Lord is bringing out his punishment and his fury using these Edomites. All right, so these Edomites are very, very, very crafty, subtle. All right, so I'm giving all praise to Yahweh Shem Shai, Hashem Kodesh, and double honors to the apostles, elders of Great Millstone. Again, prepare for another shutdown. The brother said about a wag the dog event. We see what's going on, so the scriptures are working as always. All right, and the Bible is a living book, as the power is a living God. Understand that. Shalom to the elect.